Welcome back, anglers. I'm the Survivalist, and we return to Call of the Wild, the Angler on Izilo Zasendulo, where I think this is going to be our final weekend for this DLC. We've just got a few more of the last little gear challenges to go through to get out, like, all the silver rank stuff, and then all we have left are the gold ones with, like, the specific line strength and such to work at. So I kind of feel like we've gone through and seen a fair bit of everything that's out here on Izilo Zasendulo to go for. We've caught one of every species, at least in the handbook now. It actually looks like we've gotten silver of every species or greater. And I'm going to, as much as we were working at the location challenge here for the largemouth yellowfish, I'm going to take us, I think it's up over here, and see about trying to get some of the last challenges we have here. And I think they're for the smallmouth and the spotted bass. And then if we do succeed on those, and we get them, we might head back to complete that one location challenge we've got. But yeah, we're going to start with smallmouth bass. I should probably call the Jeep just to get the tackle box or storage access we need for it. And I'll see what we need for equipment for that. So we might as well go into lures, because I think we're going to want to use spinner baits for it. Actually, first I need to figure out what kind of stuff the spotted and smallmouth likes. We'll start with smallmouth. So eggs, frog, and lake mix. So it's interesting that we need the frog for that, although I'm sure there's a few others that might go for that too. They will go for spinnerbait, so we can try that. They could go for popper as well as spoon. So smallmouth, if I want at least a silver, it looks like I need a 7 or a 6. And I think spotted bass are a little larger. Okay, so let's see. Lures, spinnerbait. Maybe we'll look at, say, a 6 and a 7 there. Poppers, I've got a 6 already, so maybe, I do have a 7, so we'll take that as well. Yeah, frogs, I don't really have anything big there. I'll toss that out, get ourselves, I'm pretty sure I have a 7. Oh, maybe not. Okay, no, we only got a 6 so far. Although, it is kind of weird, you have like 2 different hook size 6, so I guess we'll swap that for that. I don't think swim bait I need, jerk bait or crankbaits. So I think we should be able to try for anything with that. And the spotted bass, hook size 6s should be enough for a silver too. So we'll just try from the little dock right here and see what we can get. But with having tackled Call of the Wild the Angler for as long as I have, I'm not sure what I want to do for, like, new series going forward. I don't know if there's any fishing games I should try out, like, have been released and I haven't really gotten a go at to see what they're like, or if I should just kind of axe the wilderness weekends and just do whatever I kind of feel like for those slots. Not entirely sure. Alright. One thing. Okay, I'll probably have to check that when we bring this back in. I want to check what the presentation type for this is. I think it's possibly another sink, so I should let it go all the way bottom and then try reeling it in, but I guess I'll find out once we do have it fully back. As I completely skipped over the little attention to detail you should have that lets you know what kind of way you want the lure to start out with, or what it kind of should work best at for its conditions. But yeah, it's been, I think this is 23 and 24 this weekend for Izilo Zasendulo. Been a fair go on it, and again, we've seen a lot. It's just, I think I'm getting a little burnt out from how Call of the Wild the Angler. You basically have 2 different fishing styles, because let's face it, float fishing, bottom fishing, as much as they target kind of the opposite ends of the water depth spectrum, it kind of gameplay is the same. There's not really too much to go into there. And that is a sink type, so I'll want to let it go out and then try reeling in. And actually, twitching seems to work for that too, so we'll try that in a little bit. So I'm not sure what I want to do. I just feel like I need to change up from Call of the Wild the Angler to something else. The channel, I have talked about it in this weekend's episodes of theHunter Call of the Wild. I feel like we kind of hit a stagnancy point where I've got to get some fresh new stuff and shell a few series, or try to bring some series to a close that are coming up. Some things like Carnivores Fallen Kings just have naturally hit the end of their kind of span, but others like Abiotic Factor and Call of the Wild the Angler, I do think could use some wrapping up if we can. So again, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do going forward. I don't know if I should just make it like a hunting weekend and try to find like Monster Hunter to slap on in the weekends or something else, or what I should be trying to do. I'm a little surprised nothing is going for this here. I thought I'd have a little more success in this area, but... You know what? Let me try changing that down. Oh, I love that. This is exactly what I was hoping we would see. More information on each thing you're going over, and it gives you presentation type and techniques. I gotta admit, Call of the Wild the Angler, it's come a long way from its initial release. So yeah, we'll see if we can try with a smaller hook size, we can possibly get what we're after here. But there are still a few little things I'd like to see. The big one, I think, is trying to have almost like an encyclopedia in your handbook you fill out. Like, as you use certain hooks or certain setups to catch fish, you kind of fill out a chart to say, like, okay, this rank goes for hook size this. Or this bait type you used had like a 1-star efficiency on this species, or a 2-star efficiency. Just give you some more ways in-game to play and discover and keep track of, rather than having to rely on outside resources for, like, knowing steadily what you've got. Again, even the hook size charts I've gone out in the Discord, they're like the little charts. Just put a blank one into the game, and as you catch a fish of, like, that rank, it reveals that rank and everything below it, too. So you kind of get an idea of, okay, so let me step up, try this, and fill out my own chart more and more just by playing and trying out stuff. I think I am just a little burnt out for how long I have been sticking with the aim. Oh, there we go. Although it's not a bass. Oh, that's right. They added new landing animations for the game. I forgot that was actually a new addition. So, before where you used to have, you just pull it close enough, you have a little bar that goes through. Now there's actually proper animations for you've brought the fish in and you're taking it. I'll try 1 or 2 more casts here, and then with nothing happening here, I'm thinking maybe I need to try a different area, or like a different spot. Because I'm trying to think of where I've gotten the bass before. I almost want to think it's those little ponds right towards the start of the series where I caught a few things. So I might try heading back to there and just using these and those. Maybe this bigger open body of water. I guess with the tigerfish being in here, there might be a few species that aren't able to survive as well. Might be, like, really subject to predation by them. So maybe I'll try going for more, like, inland ponds or something. Because there was the one location challenge on this lake. Now, I do apologize also for, like, the stuffiness. It's this weird limbo between seasons for my area. It should be autumn and fall temperatures, but, like... Oh, there we go. But we're seeing nothing quite like that. It's more like start or end of summer. Yeah, another Kerper. Could very well be the same one we just caught, but we'll toss you back in. And I am thinking... I'll try down over here, because I think that might have been where I was getting a few bass before. But yeah, seasons are changing. I don't really know what's going on with it. I know the haircut is also a sign of... I do prefer it longer, but there is always the case of... Eventually, it just gets impractical and annoying to deal with hair too long, so... Might as well get the full time's worth and just go right down short. So yeah, it's not exactly a cold coming on, but it's just like trying to adjust for the temperatures and season and such. That's why it's a little thing. Alright, and then we'll try to stay on the left-hand side of the road, because that is apparently how, thanks to Dave's comments and my questions about it, he's been very helpful and informative for, like, the South Africa map. He actually lives in South Africa, so he's been able to let me know quite a few details in that I think for the most part the game does an okay job with, like, going into and describing, but it's always the locals who will have the best knowledge. So yeah, we'll just try pulling up. Oh yeah, this is a good little area. We basically can have 2 different areas to try from. So we'll hop out of there. We'll start with this pond over here, and then depending on like what results we get here, we can always try the other side. And we'll reduce that. Let that go to bottom, and then we'll bring in. But yeah, I don't really know what other... Like, if I were to try to find another fishing game, I don't know if I'd want it to be like rod and reel fishing. Because it feels like we've done so much of that. We've gone through Called Wild the Angler, Russian Fishing 4, Ultimate Fishing Simulator, stuff like that. But then again, it kind of leans into, well, the only other style of fishing I can think of is something like dredge, where it's not super fishing, but more like trawling and such. Or try to find like spear fishing, but I don't know if there's actually really any games that are like too recently that have been focusing on spear fishing. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So there's not a landing animation depending on how large some species are, or just some species don't have the animations yet. But there's our spotted bass we needed. And I think we still need the largemouth. Or, sorry, the smallmouth. Yeah. So, what do I need for the smallmouth? That one should be 7 or 6. And it's honestly... Maybe I'll just have to keep trying with the lure I've got and see. But will that go to the bottom, then see how we're doing, and then figure out if there's anything I want to, like, really go after. It's like, again, it feels like there's always more I could do, like there's all the gold challenges, there's more location challenges, fine, but I don't think there's anything really new and different to go through with for content-wise for the series anymore. Like, I think the legendary fish, to try catching them, have super specific locations, times of day, and requirements to get them. So I can't really say it's something that you'll just, like, stumble on real trial and error. You've got to really pursue for them, or look up what other people have done and just go entirely off of what they found. So I don't exactly want to do that. We'll see if we can get the other one we need, knock that out, and then I can always fast travel us back to where that the largemouth yellowfish are, and try to get that location challenge done. Okay, doesn't seem like we'll have anything on this go. Maybe we'll try twitching on this next try. Now, I don't know if the landing animations only work on fish of, like, they have to be so small, and then it will apply. Because the 2 kerpers we did catch were basically small enough that, again, you just pulled them up in your hand and that was it. So maybe things that are too large, you do have to go through actually securing and getting in. I guess there's an idea of maybe trying to make it more of like a smoother transition if you were catching a small fish than the big ones. So I'm just trying to think of, like, how many species would have the landing animations to them and, like, what sizing they would be for them. And not really any luck on this go. Maybe I'll try changing it out for a popper and see. See, I've got a 6 there, but we'll probably try... Okay, actually, the poppers only work with twitching. I'm not sure if I even checked that before, because I think I've just tried doing constant with them and it hasn't really worked out. Now, I'll try a few goes, just see if we can hopefully get this one knocked out, and then go from there. There is the DLC that I skipped over for Called Wild the Angler. Eventually, if we... Well, I don't want to say if we'll come back, because if there is another style of fishing added to help, like, try changing the gameplay up, I probably will be back to do a series with that extra, like, availability. But for now, it is just a lot of the same gameplay we've already seen from the previous reserves, just little tweaks here and there, mainly to what gear we use. Yeah, nothing on that go. You know what? Maybe I'm even going to try over on this side and just see if we have any better luck. But yeah, I really don't know what I want to do for, like, some of the new series ahead. Like, with at least 3 slots opening up, it is a little bit of a lot to change up at once. Because it's, yeah, basically the main week series are those two I'm trying to wrap. Well, again, Fallen Kings will wrap up naturally on its own this week. Abiotic Factor, I'm going to try to push and get that one done. It's definitely been rough trying to go through the latest area of that, and I do apologize. It's mainly been my own apprehensions and issues that have been slowing it down rather than the game's design. There are some bits of it I think do feel like they're a little strange for how it's been done for this latest area. But it's been more so myself that's been holding it. No. I'm not sure if that's some... Oh, God. Okay, with the stuffiness, I'm not going to be able to pronounce the name even correctly. Because you kind of have to have, like, guttural in the back of your throat a little bit to say the name of them. And yeah, right now, like, just as I was about to attempt it, it was, I don't think the body is going to cooperate for trying that. The mocho. Yeah, the mocho. Or mocho, or some... Again, it's kind of weird. I guess, like, stuffiness or something is just... I can't quite get the same pronunciation as I would without it. But yeah, that might have been what that one was swimming around. I can't really think of what other species it might have been, unless, like, maybe a grass carp? But we'll just keep trying, see if this works here. If not, we'll change up to the spinnerbait and see how that works. Kind of surprised that we're not even having, like, just general activity on this either. I was like, this is only a hook size 7 or 6 we've got on. And there's still quite a few species that would be able to go for it. Let me try taking us back to the hook size 6 spinnerbait and just see what happens. Let that go till it hits bottom. And now we bring in. There's something. And again, I think the game would really benefit from giving you more information on, like, bait efficiencies and such like that. But as you catch them, sure, you could always go online and look up, see what the finish charts are. But if you can do it yourself, why wouldn't you have the fun of trying to play and figure it out? You can argue that, well, you can kind of have that already. Yeah, so I think that's what it is. As long as they're of a certain size. Yeah, and there's a... God, I don't know what it is. I just, like, the throat's not clear enough to be able to do it. But there's at least something we caught. But yeah, as long as you're catching stuff, I think that's where the game still is fine. It's when you do get to the point where nothing works and nothing is landed, it just can feel like it's a real drag. Trying to think if there's anywhere else I can think of to try going for the smallmouth. As we might just be getting the muckle here. We'll see what we get on this one. At least the spinnerbait is... Oh, another muckle. Although a little bit bigger, I think. Yeah, that one was a silver. So as long as there's... Well, I was going to say as long as they're small enough to be held up in your hand like that, but that one obviously was bigger than that. Okay, trying to think of if I've had any location challenges for a smallmouth bass. Yeah, I have had one, but I just can't remember where that was. I almost feel like it was right here. Okay, is there anything else for the smallmouth that I could try out? You know what, it does say spoon, maybe we'll try that. Yeah, let that sink to bottom, then we'll just steadily bring it in and see what we get. And how am I doing for funds? Okay, we're back up to 3,000, so it's not that bad an amount. It's still not like we're sitting on the nice big pile of funds we had before I went and just, like, loaded us up with all kinds of lures and such. And we just have to keep trying and seeing what we get. I think with the with the location challenge we had with the smallmouth bass before, I do think it was from... Actually, that fish at the bottom of the screen might have been one. I think we'd used the float fishing setup for them. Yeah, now I don't see it anymore. You know, I'm going to try parallel to the shore. I mean, it's not super deep in the water here, but maybe that's what I need to try doing, is trying to either go for shore or go for more foliage. That's another comment I should probably mention that I might like to see, is expanded trait systems. That way if you have, like, again, if certain species like hanging around certain submerged objects, if they like foliage, shelters, open water, a little thing like that to kind of give you some idea of, like, okay, where should I try casting to catch these, as well as also some notification or some indication of where you're casting out, what water, like what the biome kind of counts as for where you're casting out to. When you do bring fish in, if you look at, like, your previous catch, it does show, like, caught in small pond or lake shore or whatever there. But you don't know that's what that is until you do land a fish. So it'd be kind of nice to have a way of, even just like a little text somewhere on the screen, just to kind of say, like, now fishing in lake shore, now at this. Like, I'm actually going to try going over by this area here and see if I can have some better luck. Because again, I think it was just off this dock where we had the previous challenge. But just to kind of help hone you in more to, if you're targeting certain species, to know what you're fishing in, and if it's even possible for the species to be caught where you are. I'm wondering maybe if I have all this foliage around here, we'll get some better odds. There we go. And let's see, any better luck over here? I might even try casting even more into the weeds in that to our right. Now, I don't know if there is any, like, actual, like, behavior AI to the fish, to they will only be in certain areas, or there's only certain things they'll be around for trying to catch at. I'm not really sure how in-depth things are when it does come to, like the behavior of the fish. Because you can see them swimming about in the water, I do think there is a little more than it's just a case of random chance, or like there's certain chances, etc., stuff to be striking your lure, but just gotta try and see. Yeah, not really got anything here, so I'm thinking maybe I do have to size down the setup I'm using again. Maybe just trying for hook size 7 is the better option. We'll try the spinner bait over here. Now, I doubt I can cast all the way out there. Yeah, cast mist water. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen. Let's try about halfway and see. Well, that did count. So we'll just try constant and see if anything does go for it. I mean, the case is, if you really wanted to skip the silver rank challenges, you could easily just target straight to the gold rank stuff. Because as long as you catch a gold rank or that with the equipment it lists, that'll count for both your silver and gold challenges. But I figure just kind of for the sake of like a progression curve and learning, we would try doing... God, nothing. Okay, let me try out over this way. We'd kind of stick to, like, progression of, like, say, if you were starting completely fresh on this map, how would it be? And I think that's kind of the way that all the DLCs are trying to be structured, too, is that if you really want to start a completely fresh game and not even play, like, the Golden Ridge tutorial, or even just completed Golden Ridge's tutorial but want to quickly go to another reserve, you do have the ability to, and it's not like you're unable to because you don't have gear for, like, the smallest species on map has to offer. I do think you probably have an easiest time on Golden Ridge because it does have fish that you can catch for, like, their bronze ranks and silver ranks with just, like, the lowest hook sizes. Because, like, on Izilo Zasendulo, the smallest hook size you need to start catching bronze fish is actually a hook size of 8. And I think for Golden Ridge, there are a few species where you can catch them standard at least bronze rank on just hook sizes of 10. So there are definitely some reserves that are better than others for starting out with. I do think Troll Spirit might be one of the harder ones just because of the Atlantic salmon. If you try fishing anywhere in the fjords, you're basically going to have to contend with them. Because they can seem to go for a huge variety of setups. And let's see. I only realized how late the episode's been running, so we'll see if this is what we need. No, it's another mochel. 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 Again, I don't think I can get pronunciation quite right. So yeah, I'll keep trying for the, actually, I should take a look and see where it even says the smallmouth bass lake. Shallow pond, deep pond. I don't know if there is anywhere like a deep pond around here. I was like, the latest catch was shallow pond. There we go. Yeah, that's all saying shallow pond. Okay, the spot that we got from a deep pond, so maybe we'll go back up there. We'll try keeping and working on that. But again, it's a case of you have to go into the latest catches, land something, and then that gives you the information on where you've actually been fishing. It'd be nice to have that, you just know, like, as you're at the spots. But we'll wrap this episode up, try for these last couple of challenges to round out the series, and then, yeah, I have no idea what we'll do next weekend, but we'll find that out in some time. For now, though, thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of Called Wild the Angler on Izilo Zasendulo. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to leave them in the comments right down below. And until I see you all in the next video or episode, anglers and survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy angling.